Dan Rothenberg and Joe Klosik, two guys trying to figure it out. Not the right wing, not the brosphere. Left of center, with humor and empathy.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Splain,
Welcome
everyone.
To Splain. Everybody, subscribe and like us.
Yes.
Do it real quick, Joe. Any comments from anyone lately?
We have our our sexy Rexy.
All right, from Canada. What does Sexy Rexy have to say? Anything?
Let me pull it up. She is our probably our most vocal fan.
Yeah.
Which is
We
awesome.
appreciate you.
We appreciate you because you know what? You're exactly what we want. You are intelligent. You're empathetic.
Yeah.
You have a great sense of humor, and ironically, not American. So.
And it just occurred to me, you only need one fan.
Not true, Dan. Not true.
No, but
I
we
think
we can count on her. She's always cool.
Yeah, she is always cool. And you know what? Also, I'm completely getting her internet handle wrong. I keep calling her Sexy Rexy. It's Foxy Rexy. Foxy Rexy.
Okay, we need to
In
do
my
better.
mind, Foxy means sexy, but
we need to do a little better with our one fan.
Yeah, you would think that I would put a little bit more attention to detail because this is what she said. She said, it's Foxy, LOL, not sexy. It was my dog's name. Rexy is the other. But you can call me Deb. And yes, you may need to move to Canada, and I totally will sponsor you guys.
All right.
So there you go. That's where we're at. We've got an out in case things get really weird here, which they seem to be getting.
Which they are. You listen to the news a lot more than me, Joe. So I wanted to ask you, typically during these school shootings, are kids getting massacred? What percentage of those shootings are from immigrants or trans people?
Yeah.
Or
I actually saw a statistical breakdown of this. Right? So generally speaking, almost no immigrants are committing, almost none. It's negligible. It's like 0.001 have committed some kind of a mass shooting. The majority of mass shootings...
It's kind of our thing.
It's kind of our thing. It's kind of the white... It's a white male... It's a white male thing. Definitely a white male thing. And then I did see the statistical breakdown of trans people committing a mass shooting, and the FBI says a mass shooting is defined by 2 or more people being killed with a gun, and it's 0.013% of all mass shooters are trans. But it is fascinating to note that on the news now they're like, well, maybe we should ban guns from trans people. It's like, so it took a trans person doing a terrible thing, which it is. There's no way around that. It's a terrible thing.
Okay,
no
so that happened less than once.
Yeah.
And now we got to ban. Isn't that interesting? Now we have to ban guns from trans people. I was asking you that rhetorically, but that actually happened.
It actually happened. I mean, because this last shooter was a trans person. Apparently they found all kinds of literature and notebooks dating back years. And like always, there were tons of warning signs. People were saying like, hey, this person is saying some really dangerous things, and it seems like they are worshiping former mass shooters. And again, very telling and interesting, the news media reported that written on the gun was Trump's name. Now, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know that anybody knows what to make of that. But, of course, Fox News and the right-wing media flipped out that was being reported. Not that, oh, that was wrong, or, geez, that's weird that Trump's name was written on the gun. They flipped out that it was being reported. So,
Reporting
again,
on reporting.
Yeah, they're pissed off that the media would make any kind of connection to Trump over this. But of course, all of these right-wing shows, now suddenly it's like, well, man, trans people and guns, we can't let that happen. Like, that's the problem. So now, I bet you there will be legislation that Trump puts forward saying trans people cannot purchase guns, which would be the first meaningful legislation around gun control.
Gun control.
But it's also wrapped up in this idea.
Wrapped up in transphobia, hatred.
Yeah.
And perpetuating this fascistic state.
Yeah.
That we're moving toward or are in.
It's just a stunning turn of events, but that's where we are today, right? It's guns are okay, and children's deaths are just a side effect of a constitutional right. However, if a trans person uses a gun to kill kids praying in a church, then maybe we need to ban guns from trans people.
Right. And if you I don't even want to call that a slippery slope, because that's an avalanche.
It's an avalanche, but just also take into consideration, so you can actually pass legislation to ban guns.
As long as you're hating people. As long as you're blaming vulnerable people.
Yeah.
You can pass gun legislation.
Tomorrow is our first-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. It was
congratulations.
Date. Thank you. And it's very sweet and it's adorable, and it's I can't believe a year has gone by, and it's been pretty fantastic. Mm-hmm. Here's the other thing, right? She really wants to have a baby, and I really want to be with her, and I'm open to the idea of being a father. And part of that, as an older man, as a 57-year-old guy, one of the things you have to do is you have to get a semen analysis. And
like how many you got?
Yeah, like I like how you just broke it down. Yeah, well, sperm count, but also there's like what they call.
I did that a while ago. You tell your story. I'll tell mine.
Oh yeah, I mean, and first of all, I was amazed at how quickly the report came back. I don't know what any of it means, and my doctor was just like, "Here's the report." Like okay, but what does this mean? So, first of all, what you have to do is you have to masturbate into a cup. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that not fun. You can't use lubricant. You can't use saliva. They say that. They explain that. And if you're going to do it in the privacy of your own home or someplace you'd like to be, then you have to get the semen to the laboratory, right? So the only way I could really make this work on the day that this was going to happen, I thought it would be wise to collect the sample while I was at work. Just take a long lunch.
Efficiency, yeah.
For efficiency's sake, right?
Okay.
Also, I will tell you that my girlfriend sent me some encouraging private videos. However, I could not use them because I started to laugh, because as beautiful as she was and the poses that she was making, we also have this new kitten that would not leave her alone. So the kitten's biting her, and she's trying to avoid the kitten and being sexy. So now I'm in a bathroom at work with my pants off, trying to jack off with no lube, which is painful, and I'm laughing. Forgive me if anyone heard this outside the bathroom. I accomplished the task, and as soon as I had collected the sample, now I started the stopwatch. You know, so because they say it's got to be there in an hour, right? And I had my route mapped out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get on the 38 Geary. It's going to take me 15 minutes to get to Kaiser, the laboratory, and I'm going to drop it off, and it's going to leave me plenty of time. And everything's going great. I'm on the bus, and then of course, I got my sample in a paper bag, feeling a little creepy. Hoping no one steals it or asks, well, what's your lunch? Nothing like that. And then classic San Francisco moment happens. Two guys on the bus start arguing because one guy won't move his backpack so the other guy can sit down. Never mind the fact that there's like a bunch of other empty seats. This guy's like, no, I want to sit there. And they get into it, and the bus driver decides, you know what? Not today, guys. Pulls the bus over and says, yeah, I'm calling the cops.
38 Geary?
38 Geary.
Okay,
So many stories about the 38
Yeah,
Geary.
so that
Yes.
the 38 Geary is that electric?
It's not electric. You're thinking
Right.
of a light rail Muni. This is, but it pulls over about.
I'm saying the 38 Geary has more room.
Yeah,
to-
more room to
more
maneuver,
independence. They can
yeah,
pull
more
over if they want.
independent.
So continue. Yeah.
It pulls over, gets on the loudspeaker like, "I've called the police. If you want to get off, get off." You know, I'm like, "Oh, fuck!" I'm looking at my stopwatch, right? Like, all right, 20 some minutes has elapsed. I have to get there, right? So I get off the bus. And I'm in my head, I'm looking at the Google Maps, and I'm like, shit, I got to get this there. So I get on a Lime scooter, right? One of those electric scooters that you can rent. They're all over the city.
Okay,
and
this is now trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah, with my cup of sperm in a paper bag. So I got the paper bag in one hand, holding on to the handlebar, and I'm holding on to the other handlebar, and I'm Gary's busy, so I'm staying off the street. I'm on the sidewalk, so I got to avoid people. Some of whom are like, "You can't ride on the sidewalk," and other people are just like, whatever. And I'm trying to get through the intersection, and I hit a pothole. And these little electric scooters, there's nothing to them, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of lose my hands for a second, and the bag now falls out of my hand, and my future progeny, which is in there, kind of just rolls to a stop in the intersection, which, of course, as soon as I stop the scooter to go get the bag, turns green. And, of course, everyone's now honking at me, to get out of the road. And I'm like, I can see the bag is just sort of like getting blown in the wind. And I'm like, I'm not doing this again. All right. So I'm just like holding my hand up, and trying to get the bag. I get the bag. The scooter is still there, and people are honking, trying to go around. I get back on the scooter. Now I'm looking at it, and it's like 42 minutes have elapsed. Like 42 minutes have elapsed, and I can see like 2 blocks away is Kaiser. I get there. I get in there, and then one of my worst fears has come true, which is now the woman that I have to speak to at the lab looks like Christine's mother. Christine being my girlfriend. She's an older Filipino woman, and she's like, "How can I help you?" Just no affect, very professional. I'm like, I have a semen sample. I don't know why I whispered it. That made it instantly more creepier, right? But I didn't want to. And so, of course, she's like, "Oh, semen samples are." I'm like, we don't need to yell, right? So I got to go down the hall, and now 50 minutes have elapsed. So I got to pick up a phone and tell them again, like, I have a semen sample. All right, I'll be there. I'll come there. The woman takes it and says, "Wait here just a minute." And she goes into the lab. I don't know what she's doing, but like 2 minutes later, it felt like forever, she comes out and she goes, "Okay, can you prove this is yours?" And I'm like, "Can I prove? Wait, do you have people dropping off other people's semen?
How do you prove? How do
I prove it?
How do I
prove it? Yeah, and and I'm just like, I don't. She goes like, "Show me your Kaiser card." Like, say that.
Show me your.
Just say that. Yeah, just say that. Don't say, "Can you prove it's yours?" That's weird. Like, what am I gonna? Yeah, that's mine. Like, how?
Yeah.
How do you prove it's my semen?
Yes.
Yeah. So she takes it.
What's my birthday? Can you tell me your birthday? Tell me your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just show me your. Oh yeah. Here's the Kaiser card.
Prove that. Okay.
Yeah. Can you prove it? It's like it just threw me. But then an hour later, I get all the results back, and the results are confusing and confounding because it'll tell you like how many sperm there are, per like micromillimeter, and then it gives you a percentage of what is average and what is not average. It also tells you, are your sperm going in the right direction? I don't know how. They put like
I've never heard that. Okay, so it's quantity, and are we?
Yeah,
are we going in the right direction?
Are the tails moving right? Like, and I like 60% of my guys are like,
They're just chilling, or
they're just chilling. They're just like, look, if she wants it, she's gonna have to come to me, right?
Yeah.
So
60% are kind of
they're like me. They're just fat and unwilling to put in effort, right?
Okay, or kind of alpha dog, bro. Whatever.
I don't think it's that. I don't think alpha dog, bro. No, I think it was more like, we're just gonna be here. Let me know if we we're good. But 40% are like, yeah, they're swimming. But of the 40% that's swimming, something only like 22% are actually swimming in the right direction. I don't know how you determine that. Is that they're like a slutty egg or something that you just put somewhere on the microscope slide and see if they all go for it, or some just like, we don't know where we're going.
Okay, so overall, how'd you do?
I'm below average, Dan.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut to the chase there. Below.
No, I'm below average, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like, you know what? That's how I prove the sperm is mine. Is they lack a willingness to put in the effort.
So if you look at my sperm and my life, you'll see the match.
it's pretty straight on. So recently, I was a witness to someone's passing, and
your girlfriend's mother.
Yeah, my girlfriend's mother, and it was.
So you're trying to have you're going to perhaps have a baby with your girlfriend, and she just lost her mother. So we got life and death going on all at once.
You know, the thing though that I really came away from is, that moment is going to happen for all of us. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, that is the cycle of life. Mm-hmm. And there were some things that were prepared for, and there's some things that you just don't know are going to happen. You don't know how long, you're going to be in a state where you need help. And the thing about, healthcare in America is it gets incredibly expensive as we near the end of our lives.
Yes.
And it is a horrible, horrible ordeal for family members to go through to make these decisions based on how much money do we have left, how much is it going to increase the quality of this person's life, and you are left wrestling with these questions that you cannot answer, right, in any kind of a meaningful way that makes you go, well, we figured that out, right?
In other words, what are we going to use assisted living? What does Medicare cover? Do we have Medicaid? How much money do we spend on life?
And there's so much paperwork. There's so many people involved. There's some people are amazing at their job and they're compassionate and they'll have the time to talk to you. We had hospice care with our mom, and everybody we dealt with through hospice was just professional. They preserved everyone's dignity.
How long was she in hospice?
She was actually in hospice care for a year. And that was the thing. Like, she kept defying the odds, and she hung on. And in some ways, in some ways, I'm like, man, if she knew what was happening, and I don't think she was aware, would she choose to continue, staying in this?
Was there what was the quality of life like?
There was none. I mean, she was basically, in her bed, not aware of what was really happening. I mean, maybe some part of her, it's hard to know. I mean, when we ask those questions, you get a very professional and thoughtful response, but it really comes down to, we just don't know what someone in that state is hearing and what they're picking up on. It's an odd thing, because on one hand you want to believe that there's a part of the person that's still aware and can appreciate the love that is around them, but there's also, for mercy's sake, you also kind of hope they're not aware. I hope that they're just in some numb state. But okay, long story short, all of this got me thinking, what can you do to just prepare for your own passing? And when I say prepare for your own passing, it's more like there's so much we can do while we're still alive, and living trusts, wills, medical directives, so many things that we can put on paper so our loved ones don't have to deal with it. And it really got me thinking about, like, okay, what are, and there, you start to go through these forms and the questions that they ask, it's these horrible life and death choices, like literal life and death choices. But it's like, okay, let's say you become a paraplegic in an accident, but your brain is still very much alive. How would you want to be treated? And anytime you choose the best course of treatment, then the next very question is like, okay, have you saved for, that kind of care? No, nobody has. Right. So then it's like, okay, if you're not going to put it all on your loved one to take care of you at home, you're going to have to be in a facility.
Yeah.
And a facility is like, it's a business.
Right.
And it's sad to see like how much of that, yes, you're taking care of people, but to some of these people, you are just this source of money. Yeah. And you are there really to be taken care of as almost like a house plant. I'm not even trying to be funny or flippant with that, but they change you, they make sure you're fed, they turn you, and that's the extent of the care that you're really given. But it really got me thinking, and now I do want to put some things down on paper in a legal sense. Like, look, well, number one, if I'm in a vegetative state, pull the plug. I'm out. Okay, whatever, just a shell remains. Pull the plug. Have a big party. Throw a bunch of glitter. I don't give a shit. Say what you want. I'm gone. At that point, I'm out of there, right? If also, like, if I can put aside money now to pay, the average funeral in California is $11,000, and just sitting down, with the funeral director, I mean, it's such a racket because. Her mom chose to be cremated, but she also wanted a funeral service, right? So you have to put the person's body in a casket, but of course you're not going to burn the body with that casket, so you have to rent a casket.
She wants to be cremated and have a funeral?
Yeah.
Why do you need a casket?
Not in that order, Dan. Not in that order, of course, but right.
Why do you need a casket can't you have a funeral?
You can have a closed casket. Yeah, you can have a casket with an urn. You can have, but this is what her mother's wishes were.
She wanted a casket involved.
She wanted a casket involved, right? Because you got to have the flowers on the casket, and it's very traditional.
Okay.
And, so it's like, all right, like, how do we do that? And, of course, the funeral home is like, well, we do have rental caskets available.
Yes, that's the very soft, the soft tone where we're charging you money.
Yeah.
We have it so happens we have that available for you.
We have it available
for several $1,000s.
Yeah, several thousand. And then of course there's like, your mother wanted the best, and this is people letting go of your mom, so we have a price range of rental caskets. It's basically like, do you want her friends to see her in a Toyota, or do you want her friends to see her in a limousine?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's books where you pick out the flower arrangements. There's books where you pick out the prayer cards. Also, did you know that priests can't really be directly paid to perform a funeral because that's part of their job, but you can give them an honorarium, and the honorarium is suggested $200, which the funeral home will take for you, and then make sure the priest gets. And I'm like, this is such a scam.
It's a business. Yeah, it's
a business. It's a business. And that priest gets the money, gets the cash, tax-free. Tax-free. Gets handed, here's, and I'm like, well, how many funerals is this guy doing on a weekend? Like, well, he can do up to 4 on a day.
Tax-free.
Tax-free.
So they're not taxing, just by the nature of it being religion, no taxes.
No taxes, yeah. So, yeah, you got the rental casket for a few $1,000s. You got the honorarium, which, yeah, you don't have to, but it's suggested that you do it.
So not to...
It's all... Yeah, go ahead.
Not to interrupt. I got a few things going on right now.
Yeah, please, tell me.
First of all, my mother-in-law, we just put her in assisted living. And, and she's a good example of what the average person deals with. So my mother-in-law has worked very hard to build a craft services business, and she got to a point she's like many Americans, did not have a lot of money to spare, but she owns her house and wants to pass that house on to her kids.
Right.
Respectable. And that's a very tough situation, because when you start to get to the end, living costs are going to suck up all that money. Now
all of it.
We pulled a miracle. And at this point, myself and my wife and my sister-in-law were able to work very hard and get her on Medicaid, which is in addition to Medicare. And we just found a pretty good assisted living near our house. It's been a long haul.
Yeah.
So not to put it simply, these older adults that we love, they'll ruin your summer. It is what it is.
It is what, but it's a horrible feeling of like, man, I want to help, I don't know how to help, and then you also realize, and I'm not saying this with any kind of contempt, but it's like, man, your mother could have made more plans.
Yeah, no,
for this
that's
eventuality.
the norm. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. So
but
basically,
nobody wants to think about it.
So we've got my mother-in-law, who is the average person who just tried to live a good life.
Yeah.
And then toward the end, we had to pick up the pieces and try to end. Yeah, when I say the last 2 summers for my wife, who's a teacher, have been stressed, going to ER's emergency room, preventative this, that. Oh, I got it. And once you get to be an older adult, you don't realize how much work it is. It just is what it is. You're dealing with
what it is.
A toddler where anything can go wrong, and you want to do the right thing, and you want to. It's just it's a paperwork and running errands nightmare.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job that doesn't pay. Is what it is. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, you've got on the other end of the spectrum, you have my father, who's been preparing for his death for the last 20 years. And it's his main hobby. He has retooled his trust 3 to 5 times.
That's beautiful.
And so on the one hand, and he's going to hand it when the time comes. He's going to hand it off to me on a satin pillow. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a turnkey into his life. His inheritance is going to be like, walking into an Airbnb. The TV's working. Maybe you got to hook up your Netflix. That being said, the challenge of that is that's filled with, as we called it, the Jews, mishigas, craziness. It's a little nuts. It's over the top. Do you know what I mean?
It's
living in this space with a parent that's all about death.
It's
all
about
the
your both
time.
ends of the spectrum.
Yes, and so those are the two ends. And so I would say the goal is to find a balance where, while you're, let's say, in your 50s and 60s and have your faculties, and still are living in that part of the brain that looks forward and is focused on your kids, handle it, get it all done. And the tough part about that is it's expensive. So, for instance, you and I are living in a world where $5,000 is a big deal. $5,000, depending on
$5,000 is nothing at the end of life care. $5,000 is
well, that's what I mean. But my point is, if you want to get a living trust, you're looking in the ballpark of $5,000.
Right.
Which it's again, nothing. Yeah. But right now it's something.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I already talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer said, "Well, give me a ballpark figure of how much money you have." And I told him, and he's like, "Huh." that was his huh. He's like, "Yeah." He goes, a lot of times these trusts are for high value people. His
you've
words.
had a rough week, close call. From your sperm to your bank account. You're taking a beating.
Look, I have saved. I have struggled. I have a little bit of money that it's.
Did you
what I've
explain
managed
to him for a comic that came up in the late '80s?
It didn't
You're
seem like he
doing
wanted to
something.
really.
He wasn't
I don't think
impressed.
he cared where it came from. I think he was more like, "You're wasting both of our time because this is not worth." Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically, he's like, you could just. Why don't you just write your will
On a napkin
and-
next to your
on a
next to your
napkin
jokes.
and just keep it. Here,
Yeah.
here's how this is how I think we wrap it up, Dan. And look, I'm gonna premise this by saying I'm half joking about this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm half joking about this, but I think as I get older, this is gonna make more and more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think, let's say it's 60 years of age, 60 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mandatory. Okay, you have to sit down with somebody, somebody who's got legal, ethical, and medical training, right? And they say, okay, based on all of the available statistics applying to your health, your finances, where you live, probability, all of that stuff, we think you might make it to 75. We're going to recommend our I'm out of here budget plan, which means upon your death, we just take $20,000 to pay for the funeral, the casket, whatever you want to do, and for an extra $5,000, we'll take you out, and it will be some kind of accident. It could be a gas
Nice.
leak.
I like it.
It could
Yeah.
be just like
How about
something
it's-
painless.
You know what would be awesome?
something-
No, it's going to be heroic.
Ooh,
You're going to
yes.
stage something, or you're going to do something.
Yes.
How cool would that be? You're going to do something. Here's the problem, Joe. And I hate to put the kibosh on this fantasy. We oversimplify these conditions. We might die this way, we might die that way, but it never matches up with that. It's something I'm noticing. So, for instance, you're talking about if I'm in a vegetative state, pull the plug. We all like to say
Pull the
that.
plug. Pull it.
But you know what? That rarely happens. It doesn't happen. You're just sitting there brain dead, and we pull the plug. We get in the ballpark of brain dead. And then here's the tough part. You get in that ballpark of brain dead, and that's where you really want to hang on and live, and you get to be the most difficult. You can still...
I don't want. Okay, look. Okay, here's
you're
how.
irritable, and you're verbally
can I
demanding.
Can I sit upright and enjoy a good cup of coffee?
All right.
No.
I
That's
agree.
it.
I agree. It's just
That's
never
it.
that simple. My mom. This is my favorite. My favorite line from my mom. Okay.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you. When I get to a certain point, put a pillow over my head.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what my mom used to just say. Just put me in a
People
plain
say that, but here's the
wooden
problem.
box.
That doesn't
Yeah.
help. First of all,
No.
okay, Mom. So you basically, it's not that simple for me to murder you. It's not
We
as
can't
simple.
write that. We can't write that down, and a lawyer's
It's
going
not
to sign
that
off
simple.
on it.
There
Yeah,
are problems with the just murder me. Okay.
Yeah.
No
That's
problem.
thanks, Mom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, these are her wishes.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Okay.
Why is
so
she fighting? Yeah, it's just
it's not
normal.
Yeah, it's not that simple, and right. So I could get caught. I could go to jail. That could have immense psychological damage. The point is, we get to a place where we're just what you want to plan for is to be in a place where you are difficult, irritable, you don't know what you want, but you're still making demands.
Dan, that's me now.
I know, but the
That's
problem
me
with that is,
today.
and I hate to say that, the problem with that is it takes a lot of money and a lot of time.
Fuck, I don't have the money.
And
but
I
I'm
know.
already
Well,
irritable.
welcome to America. We don't
Fuck.
have the money, but
Yeah.
you can do
Yeah.
what you can, which most
Yeah.
people don't. Listen to me. Oh, my dad would be so proud of me right now. I am rocking it. I am crushing Ken Rothenberg coming out of my
you
mouth
you just solved death
right now. You can do what most people don't is, yes, get a lawyer and get a trust, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And
Apparently too much work for my small net value.
yes, but it's not. Especially if you have kids, do it. That's the mark right there.
Okay.
Once you have a kid, so you can do more than the average person, but let me tell you something. There are buttloads of people where my mom lives right now with her sister who has money that are having these conversations, and it's a different world.
Yeah.
It's a different privileged world of people that are taking
money makes a difference.
Taking care of their shit and doing it in a tax-friendly way.
Right. Yeah.
And
I just think at a certain point, just leave me out on the sidewalk.
Right, you don't want to be a burden.
Yeah, I don't want to be a burden, and I will, and I don't want to end up in some shitty facility. Just leave me out on the sidewalk. Give me a Viking funeral. Just set me on fire. And that'll be that. And then just have a Star Wars themed funeral, and everyone can just make fun of me.
By the way,
and that'll be that.
This is a thing I want to do for my funeral. Here's my vision. I think every comedian has this vision. I don't want a funeral. I want a roast, right?
Oh.
I want my friends talking shit about me, having fun.
That's gonna happen anyway.
In my life, I'm serious. I want at the punchline, you and Roddy Castro and Tony Dion, people that know me and love me. Isn't that what you talking shit, having fun with the moments? And I want to. Yeah. Do people do this? Write out a thing and have someone read it. My last words.
Yeah. I want to make a video. I want to make a video and pretend like. But I want it to be darkly funny.
Yes.
Like I want you see these videos of people that like they have blue sky behind them, like, hello, I'm talking to you from heaven, I made it. I want to just be in a dark room and go like, you're all fucked.
Yeah.
This is what's waiting for you.
That is the beauty. Right. It's all about humor.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't want a morbid send off.
Not at all.
I want lots of punchlines. I want humor. I mean, a couple of hot exes maybe wailing on my coffin, sure. But none of us are going to be hot by the time I die. So
yeah, a poll for all your exes to come up and do a final performance.
Coming up in walkers. This is for you, Joe. You were the best. Just twirling a diaper instead of a G-string. Yeah.
Oh, hilarious, beautiful. Ida, yes. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of. We are with my mother-in-law, and here's another thing I will add. The reality is, I think people have all kinds of feelings, all kinds of ambivalence. You want people are going to die. You want them to not be in pain. You want to. I think it's okay to say this. You want to inherit something before it all goes.
Don't get me started
to
on
the
that.
diaper factory. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's all. I mean, if I'm trying to figure out how to put a bow on this, and wrap this episode up cleanly and clearly. That is the problem, though, right? Mm-hmm. Is if you really start to try and wrap your head around some of these questions, it's emotionally debilitating because these are existential questions humanity
because
has
our
never been able to
system
answer.
Doesn't support it. It's it's like all health care. It's unaffordable. It's not expensive. It's not doable for the average American that's just kept their head above water. And let's say you've got $300,000, which used to be a lot of money. I'm picking that out of nowhere. You have $300,000 and say, okay, I want to retire-ish a little bit.
Yeah.
And assisted living will snap that up.
Yeah. It's
quick.
I mean, I fantasize about just buying an acre property in the woods somewhere, and just like my final year is just going to be like camping out, and then the animals get me, and that's that. Anyway,
All right. The nice thing
like
is,
and subscribe.
like and subscribe, everyone. You know what I like about us? We're a good blend of
Sweet and sour.
the Gen X white guy. I'm looking kind of. I got my hood to coast running thing. You're looking a little more rugged, a little more. It could go either way with you.
What the fuck are you saying?
You're
I think you just said that I'm falling apart in the nicest way possible.
No, not falling apart, but yeah, I could see you going off the grid.
It's
in a good
the
way.
beard.
In a good way. I clearly need the grid.
I mean, I need the grid too.
I'm a grid
I do,
guy.
but
It's
it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. I mean, just
Yeah.
today I was talking to Christine. And I'm like, look, we buy 2 of these little houses. They're like $12,000 each. We buy an acre of land. We stick the houses on the land, right? We get hooked up to the internet, and we pump our own water. We grow our own vegetables. And she's just like, oh, honey,
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it's a lot of fucking